Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Kentucky versus Clemson Gator Bowl college football matchup on Friday, December 29th, 2023. Of course, if you like our free picks that we give out every day at Pick Dawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. You can find those over at the website under the premium picks tab. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays. These are meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text that number that you see on the screen. They're not available on the website, so go ahead and text. But let's get to this one. Kentucky taking on Clemson. Of course, this game in Jacksonville at the Gator Bowl. Kentucky enters this game 7-5, Clemson 8-4. Not used to really being in the Gator Bowl. Of course, Clemson has been in the playoff more than any other team, and I think, this year's Clemson team, it's a combination of different reasons as to why they are where they are. And I think, a lot of blame went early in the season to Cade Klubnik, the quarterback of Clemson. But actually, this guy has a lot of talent. And I think Clemson has a lot of talent in general. But what we see in college football, in today's college football, and I know we've had this discussion in these videos and in the comments and everything like that about image licensing and transfer portal. And yes, I believe players deserve to get paid. And I believe the NCAA are pigs, right, for taking and hoarding all the money. And for basically treating these guys like slaves, even though they got complete scholarships, right, to play football. There just has to be a limitation and a mix and kind of a salary cap and a structure to it instead of this free-for-all, which is all out there. So I just think, if there is a reasonable structure to it, well, it'll all work itself out. Without a structure, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be basically Major League Baseball compared to the NFL or the NBA, which are awesome, right? Anyways, we look at this particular game and we see this Kentucky team that generally starts the season very, very strong under Stoops. And what we see is that as the season goes on, they don't play as well. And I think a lot of that has to do with their SEC schedule. And, Kentucky, what we've seen from them is that, against the SEC and against these bigger teams that they seem to play at the end of the season every single year, well, that's really where the problems begin. Losing 49-21 to Alabama, losing to South Carolina 17-14 in a game that you would figure they would have a good chance. They lost to Tennessee by 6. They lost to Missouri by 17. So when they've played against the better teams like Georgia, where they lost 51-13, they have really had their share of struggles. But they did beat an ACC team in Louisville last time out, 38-31. When we look at the Clemson Tigers, this is a team that beat an SEC team last time out, South Carolina, a team that beat Kentucky. And of course, pretty much outside of, those couple losses, Miami, NC State, they had some pretty good games in there. Even that home loss against Florida State in overtime, they were right there in it. So as bad as Klubnik has been at times, and that Duke game is really where we saw it, right? Where the Clemson was just super sloppy and it was just a weird set of circumstances. But Clemson, you have to remember, has been one of the top recruiting teams in the nation year after year. So the transfer portal, if you're at the top of the recruiting rankings, is the teams that it really hurts the most, because it's those players that came in that you expected to kind of fill in the gaps as time went on. Now, because they're not playing right away, they transfer somewhere else where they promised them playing time, even though they probably land on the field at a place like Clemson in the next season or two, a team that, puts first-round NFL draft choices out there year after year across the board on both sides of the ball. I think what we have here is just a Clemson team that's a lot deeper than Kentucky, and I think that because of that Duke game and the sloppiness that we've seen, they've almost been downplayed as to how talented and deep this team is. Clemson is super fast, super talented, loaded with future NFL guys. I know they have a ton of guys sitting out for this one, but it ain't going to matter. I'm taking Clemson, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.